So the Lakers are the third seed in the Western Conference, guys, and I'm going to be talking about in today's video the keys to victory and possibly the most important game of the season tomorrow against the Houston Rockets. And I also want to talk about and kind of break down their 6-game win streak, which is very, very impressive. And I'm also winning 9 of their last 10 games. Before we hop into today's video, I want you guys to drop a like and subscribe if you guys are new. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video, and let's go and hop into it. So I want to talk about today, first of all, right? I want to talk about the Lakers' 6-game win streak that they're on and how impressive this has been because of the opponents that they played against. And I also want to talk about while LeBron was out, they were able to hold it down and win games against very good teams, you know, when LeBron was out as well. So let's go ahead and hop into that right quick before we hop into the Houston Rockets game for tomorrow. Let's go ahead and hop into the Lakers schedule and let's go back over that right quick and just do a quick recap over the 6-game win streak that they've had. Which I think is very, very impressive. And starting off in Indiana, obviously Luka Dončić went bunkers in this game, and he also obviously carried the team in this game. But this was a game that you were supposed to win, so it's really not that big of a deal if you ask me. But when you hop into these New York and Minnesota games, like the New York game that New York was coming into LA on a Saturday, right? LeBron James did not play in this game. LeBron did not play in this game. Everybody really expecting him to play. And this is when the Lakers are better without LeBron. Crowd was screaming that they're better without him because they ended up winning this game against one of the hottest teams in the league at that point. The New York Knicks were healthy. The New York Knicks were healthy. They had, coming into that game, they had the #1 defense in the league after All-Star break. And they were playing extremely good basketball. And just a couple nights before that game, they had smoked the Nuggets by 40 points in Denver. So this was an extremely impressive win, and I love what I've seen out of the Lakers in this game, obviously. And I just feel like the uptick in energy has been with this that this team has played with since that Denver game, when they lost that last Denver game in Denver. Actually, since they lost that Phoenix Suns game in Phoenix to that game winner that they lost to. I feel like ever since then they've been at a whole nother level, defensively, energy wise, and I just think that they kind of just uplifted themselves when their back was against the wall, right? Okay, so the next game, the Minnesota Timberwolves game. This is the 3rd game of the season we played against them. Now, we played against them twice earlier in the season and beat them both times. You know, Minnesota is trying to take this game personal. This is a big game for the standings and things of that nature. No LeBron again, but the Timberwolves are fully healthy, and you come in and you win that game as well, you know, handily against a very, very good, healthy Minnesota Timberwolves team. So that was an impressive win as well. Chicago Bulls game. Chicago was very hot from the field that night. Luka Dončić had a 50-point triple-double, which really kind of upticked, in my opinion, his MVP stock for this season. And then up to that point in the season, the Denver Nuggets game, that was the most important game of the season before tomorrow, if you ask me, because at that point you secured the tiebreaker over the Denver Nuggets, and that was a very important game because Denver has a very easy schedule going down the stretch of the season. They don't play against like San Antonio and OKC until the end of the season, and at that point of the season, those two teams might not even be playing their main players. So that is a very important win, because if you end up tying with this team with having the same record down the stretch of the season, you will have the tiebreaker and you will go in as a higher seed than them. So that's another reason why that win was very, very important. But the faster they won that game, and even though they kind of blew a bigger lead in that game, the Lakers held on and they figured out a way to win the game. And that's how Denver has been beating the Lakers the last couple years, especially before the Luka Dončić trade. Before the Luka Dončić trade, I felt like the Lakers were always winning against the Denver Nuggets, and then they will always lose at the end because of some clutch shots. They will make a couple more baskets than the Lakers would. It never really was a blowout or just some type of dominance over the Lakers that the Denver Nuggets presented. They never just blew the Lakers out. It was always a game all the way up until the end, and then Denver would make just a few more plays than the Lakers. But vice versa this time. The Lakers did that exact same formula, had that exact same formula for the Denver Nuggets in the game on Saturday, and when they win that game. So that was an extremely impressive win, if you ask me. You know, Luka Dončić game winner, LeBron diving on the floor for a loose ball at the age of 41 years old. Austin Reeves having a perfectly timed and missed free throw to tie the game up and forcing it to go into overtime after making the first free throw that had a lot of pressure on you to be able to even do that play and force the miss on the free throw and then tie the game up, man. I'm like, Marcus Smart making clutch shots, getting clutch steals. DeAndre Ayton coming in the game in overtime, scoring 4 points, getting offensive rebounds, getting a block on Jokic. Like, this team is playing phenomenal basketball right now. And I've said it the entire time, right? This team can have an Indiana Pacers type run to the NBA Finals. I'm not saying that they will, but they can. Because if you're playing your best basketball with these three stars and with these role players that can make timely shots and hit and get timely stops, if they can have that formula, they can go on a deep playoff run. Now, are they favored in a lot of these series? Of course not. And that doesn't matter. They don't have to be. And just because you're the favorite on paper, that does not necessarily mean you're going to win the game or a series, whatever, right? So that was extremely important to me. And then you come in yesterday, you win a game against a Houston Rockets team. You forced Kevin Durant to have 7 turnovers. And the game before that, you forced Nikola Jokic to have 9 turnovers. So the defense that they are playing, the double teaming, the rotations out of the double teams, flying around, getting steals, getting deflections, they're playing inspired basketball. And that's all you can ask. Now, let's go ahead and hop into, I'm going to go full screen for this. Let's go ahead and hop into the keys to victory tomorrow against the Houston Rockets, which in my opinion is the most important game of the season up until this point of the year, because if you win this game over the Houston Rockets tomorrow, you will have a chance to have the tiebreaker essentially over everybody in the Western Conference in that mid-tier, like tier 3 and below, like the Lakers, the Rockets, the Timberwolves, and the Nuggets. You will have the tiebreaker over all 3 of those teams below you right now if you win tomorrow against Houston. Now, Alperen Sengun is going to be back tomorrow. He's off the injury report for the Rockets. He's going to play tomorrow. And I kind of had a feeling he would, because yesterday's game wasn't as important as tomorrow's game, because the Rockets already won. They already won on Christmas. So they was already up 1-0 on the Lakers. They only played each other 3 times this season. Tomorrow's game is for the tiebreaker. So if they lost yesterday, then we just tied it up. So it really wasn't as important as tomorrow's game, right? So tomorrow's game is the most important game of the season for that reason alone. If you win that game, you own the tiebreaker over all of the teams below you right now in the Western Conference when it comes to 4 through 6, the Rockets, the Timberwolves, and the Nuggets. That's going to be extremely important, because that really could decide a lot at the end of the season. You know, if you finish the season strong and they finish the season strong and you end up having the same record as some of these teams, which is very possible at this point, because the Western Conference seeds 3 through 6, 3 through 7 is only separated by like 3 games. So if you go on a little losing streak, or if you lose a few games and then the other team wins a couple games, and you know, it might vary. And if that does happen, then you can have that insurance that you will be a higher seed because you won the tiebreaker against these teams. The tiebreaker this season is extremely important. You know what I'm saying? Because of how close the Western Conference is, and because of how competitive it is this season. Now, let's hop into the keys of the game. I want to talk about how yesterday the Lakers struggled to shoot the 3 ball yesterday, even though they won the game, right? They won this game yesterday, but they did struggle from shooting the 3. And they've been shooting the ball extremely well, over this 6-game win streak. And that possibly really out of their 9 out of their last 10 wins, they've been shooting the ball very, very good. Now, they won 9 out of their last 10 games, and they've been shooting the ball from 3 extremely well. Yesterday was an outlier because, in my opinion, Austin Reeves, Rui Hachimura, and Luke Kennard shooting 0 of 12 from 3, and the Lakers still figure out a way to win the game is just a testament to how good this team has been playing defensively, the energy, and they haven't been just dependent on their offense when it comes to winning games, right? So, in my opinion, I don't think that those 3 guys are going to shoot that bad again tomorrow. And I think that could be a key in winning tomorrow's game, because Sengun will be back tomorrow. You might not be able to double team KD as much. You probably can double team Sengun though, like you did against, or just kind of play him and front him a lot with somebody covering the backside, especially without Houston having the shooting that Denver has. I think that you would be able to front him, double team him, and force him to have those same type of turnovers as you had against Jokic. So I think they're playing flying around on defense, double teaming Sengun in the post, because I think they're going to go through him a lot after seeing how the Lakers double team KD in half court. And forced him to have 7 turnovers in yesterday's game against the Lakers. So I think that they're going to be able to adjust a little bit since Sengun is back tomorrow. But overall, I think that if they do have Kevin Durant bringing the ball up the court, I want to see Marcus Smart, or I want to see Jake LaRavia, or if Vanderbilt plays tomorrow, I want to see those guys guarding KD full court and forcing him to get rid of the ball. or trying to force him to do something that he doesn't want to do, or put more stress on him by guarding him 94 feet and really pressuring the ball in order to cause him to have more turnovers or just have more stress, so he'll be more tired in the second half like he was last game, or just getting in his head and making him mentally frustrated because you're just you're just annoying him the entire time like a mosquito. I think that more teams need to do that because of the lack of point guard, of the lack of like the Houston Rockets not having a point guard. I think that teams need to take more advantage of that and put more pressure on Kevin Durant. And if teams don't do it in the regular season, they will 1000% start doing it in the postseason, right? So I would like to see the Lakers do that tomorrow. I would like to see them make more threes in tomorrow's game as well because they missed so many wide open shots. The two of the best shooters in the league, Rui Hachimura and Luke Kennard, went a combined 0-4 yesterday on wide open looks, especially Luke Kennard, bro. Luke Kennard was wide open on his threes. And I hope that he makes those guys pay tomorrow because I'm pretty sure he's going to get some type of looks like that tomorrow. Hopefully he makes them, hopefully he capitalizes and make them pay, right? And also put more pressure on Kevin Durant. If he's bringing the ball at the court, put more pressure on him. Obviously he's going to have the ball in his hands a lot. I want the Lakers to play with more energy on the defensive rebounds because that in my opinion, that was the only reason why in the first half the Rockets were in the game. Because of offensive rebounds. They were offensive rebounding the ball and getting threes out of it. That was the only reason why the Lakers or the Rockets were still in the game in the first half, is because the Lakers were not defensive rebounding the ball. If you are going to play zone all the time, you have to up your physicality and box out. You can't just expect the ball to come to you. You got to put a body on somebody. You have to. If you're going to play zone, you have to put a body on somebody, which I agree with the Lakers playing zone against a team that struggles from the three-point line like the Houston Rockets do. So I want to see more physicality on the defensive rebounds, knock down more threes, and continue to put pressure on Kevin Durant, bringing the ball to the court, execute your double teams on him and Alperen Sengun, and force those guys to make perimeter shots. And I think you will have a very good chance of winning tomorrow's game, which in my opinion is the most important game of the season because you will have the tiebreaker over all teams, all the Western Conference team in that mid-tier, the Timberwolves, the Rockets, and the Nuggets, if you win tomorrow's game against the Houston Rockets. So, big game tomorrow. Y'all let me know how y'all feel about it in the comment section below. What's y'all's 3 keys to victory against the Houston Rockets in tomorrow's game? Let me know all these things in the comment section below. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. If y'all enjoyed it, or if y'all enjoy these pre-game shows or pre-game keys to victory, y'all be sure to drop a like so I know you like these things, and I'll make more. Love you guys, man. Appreciate y'all for watching today's video. Catch you guys in the next one. Peace.